morning. What we're going to do today is we're going to do shoulders and we're going to do hips. And I'm going to divide the class up into half. So we're going to start with our shoulders and then we're going to move on to hips. And we're going to do what we have been doing. I'm not sure how much long hold stuff we're going to do today because I really like to do the functional work and the dynamic work because it's just so powerful. And there's a lot of new little things that I want to teach you guys. So let's start with the upper body first, and let's start with the back of the neck. So what you can do with the back of the neck is you can lie flat and you can take your foam roller. This is the way we normally start our class, but I'm going to show you some options. And you can lie back or take your ball, and it's either in its little sack, right? The ball sack, right? Or I like the dual ball because it's just easier to maneuver. And you take your dual ball or your double ball, however you have that, you put it on a block, you hold it in there, and then you put it at the base. It's a lot more targeted than your foam roller. So you can certainly start with the foam roller. I'll give you enough time. If you're on your foam roller, your chin is in line with your sternum, and you just kind of want to rock your chin from side to side, or lift and lower your chin. Your pelvis is heavy, your ribs are heavy. I'm going to switch to the foam roller because this is like really, really harsh, and I'm not quite ready for it yet. So I want to warm up the tissue first. So I'm just going to have my knees bent. I'm here with Yoda, my assistant is here again today. And let's just rest. My knees are bent, and my feet are a little bit wide at about hips width, and I'm just gonna let my knees fall in. This is called broken bridge, which is just a nice restorative pose. It doesn't require your hip flexors to be engaged. It doesn't require anything. We want the lower body to be relaxed. And let's bring our focus to our breath. Let's breathe in through the nose. And out through the mouth. Nice big inhale. And a nice big exhale. And I want you to continue on with this. And I want you to think with your inhales that what our lungs fill from the bottom up. So I want you to have a visual in your closed eye, your mind's eye, of a glass filling up with water from the bottom to the top. So your belly rises, your low ribs rise. Not much moves as you get up higher, but your collarbone spreads at the top of your inhale. And then our lungs deflate from the top to the bottom, just like pouring water out of a glass. So first, you're just going to relax through your collarbone as you exhale. And then you're going to relax through your ribs. And then your belly button pulls gently into your spine at the bottom of your exhale. So we're going to breathe deliberately through the whole class. We're going to match our inhales to our exhales. Now I want you to begin to rock your head from side to side if you haven't already, maintaining that breath. And you have like two little knobs at the base of the skull. There's a whole lot of attachments there. There's a lot going on and you'll kind of feel it. I'm just kind of shaking my head. I'm doing a little no nod. I'm just gently shaking my head from left to right. But my head is about my chin is about 30 degrees over to the right. Because I want to put some pressure on here. I'm going to make some circles with my chin. And I'm going to go chin up, chin down. And I'm going to go to the other side. So yeah, we are focusing on shoulders right now because those muscles in the top of the shoulder go up and can attach at the base of the skull here. There's a lot going on. So I've got my little head nod. My little nod no, my little nod yes. I'm looking a little bit over to the left. Chin up, chin down, maybe make some head circles. Now if you want to here, now that the tissue on the back of the neck is warmed up, you can take your block and you can take your double ball and put it on the block and put it there in the base of the skull. You're going to feel a lot more here. And I'm just going to do chin up, chin down. I'm going to make sure that I'm breathing. You're not going to be able to turn your head to the right or to the left very much. You don't want to be on your neck. You want to be on the base of your skull. It won't feel good if it's on your neck. You can do a little chin wag left to right. Maybe make some slow circles. And we want to move slowly when we're doing our myofascial work, which is our foam roller and our therapy ball work, right? We want to move slowly. We don't want to be in a lot of pain. Okay, I'm going to release that ball and I'm just going to let my head rest on the block and let that tissue just kind of spread before I move on. All right, I'm going to go back to the foam roller and we're going to go up and down the spine. We're going to work on the shoulders with our foam roller first, and then we're going to move on to some single ball work. So we don't have to spend a lot of time. You can do 5 or 6 passes. Remember, when the hips are down, you can extend your spine back, and you just kind of lift and move the foam roller so it's on different parts of the spine. You want to stay in the upper back here. Or if you lift your hips, you engage your core and you bend and extend your knees. My elbows can be wide. If I bring my elbows together, that's going to kind of puff out the muscles back there and wrap the shoulder blades forward so that there's a little bit more tissue that's available for it to be on the back of this roller, that we're just trying to warm up the tissue here. Couple passes. Okay, now I'm going to lie on my right side. I'm going to put my foam roller that's perpendicular, parallel to the front of the mat, perpendicular to the side of the mat. I'm going to put it underneath my armpit, and I want to look down my body. I want my hips to be in line with my shoulders, and I want my elbow to be pulled back so it's in line with my shoulder. That's going to put me in a proper position, and I'm thinking about the tissue that's underneath my armpit, all part of the back of the shoulder, right? There's lots of things you can do here. I will give you a bunch of different things. You can roll all the way forward and get onto your pec muscle in the front. You can roll all the way to the back and kind of chug. My chest is pointed up towards the ceiling and I'm just kind of chugging back and forth, right? I can come back to having my chest facing you guys, and I can extend that bottom arm, and I can bend and extend. I can lower and lift my head, my ear to my shoulder with my arm extended. Lots of different things we can do here. Okay, roll over, go right to the other side. I'm going to switch so that I'm facing you. You can just roll over right on your roller. So you guys have to be the police there. Bump your hips to the back of the mat. Bring your knees towards the front so that the spine is in one line. We want to make sure that we're lined up here, right? We're going to inhale and we're going to exhale, just like we just were when we were lying on our back. We're going to inhale, think about the belly filling from the bottom up, the lungs filling, and you're going to come forward. Now what I'm doing on my foam roller is I'm making some big passes. We're going to dial in with the ball in a minute. I'm going to scoot down a little bit here because I really like that extended arm. I'm just going to hang with the extended arm. Now, if you have a tight shoulder, your arm is going to be more forward, right? To the right. This is the left arm. If you're more flexible, you want to have your arm up here to be an extension of your shoulder. You might feel more. I'm just going to lift and lower my head, my ear to my shoulder, and I'm going to come up. I'm going to roll to the pec and then onto the back of the shoulder. Excellent. Okay, set that roller off to the side and grab one of your therapy balls. And grab your block. You don't have to do a block. I'll show you some options. We're going to hit the front of the shoulder and then we're going to hit the back of the shoulder. So if I were to use the block, I'm lying on my belly. I have my block just off the mat. I'm going to put the ball on my block, and I'm going to think about the front of the shoulder, right? And I'm going to try and keep my body so that it's square to the mat. You can do this on the wall as well. And I'm going to roll my chest out to the block and then in. So I'm rolling the ball left to right on the front of my shoulder. I'm going to move it into different positions. I'm going to tell you all the different fun things that you can do here. You can go real slow. You can lift your body weight up by pressing with your hands and then push down into the tissue and plow through the tissue. Now I feel a real sensitive spot right here, so I'm gonna hang here, and I'm just gonna breathe. It's called pin and drape. I'm just gonna relax. I'm gonna untuck my toes. I'm gonna try and relax my right elbow. I'm gonna make a fist with my left hand and rest my forehead on my fist. I wanna try and be as relaxed as possible. Okay, the feeling that I had felt where I had sort of a sensation going down my arm, it has gone away. So I'm gonna go back to rolling on it. So that's what we're doing. We're searching through the tissue to see if we can find something that is maybe giving us a referral or a pain sensation, or not really a pain sensation, but just a sensation down a pathway that isn't in the area that we're working in, because that would be unhealthy. It would be an unhealthy pathway, and that's just a sign of dehydrated tissue that for some reason just needs to get it massaged out and worked out so that we're trying to get some blood flow to this area. This feels really, really good. Other thing you can do, I like to make a fist and rest my head down. Extend your arm out straight so you have a straight elbow. You can go thumb up and thumb down. That's gonna put the shoulder into internal and external rotation, right? Get that ball either real close to the inside or right on the front of that deltoid there in the front. Up and down. And you can sweep. You can sweep the straight arm with a straight arm or a bent arm. And you can, and you can sweep with your thumb up or your thumb down. You can make some circles. Okay, let's switch to the other side. You can also do this without your block, but I find it easier to have the arm on the block. Okay, so let's get and we just want to remember what it is and why what we're trying to accomplish. We're working superficial fascia, that's the fascia that's closest to the surface of the skin, similar to when we go to a massage therapist. This side's totally different for me. And I'm looking for some sensation. I'm not feeling a whole lot in here. This is feeling pretty healthy for me. But I'm gonna cruise around anyway. We wanna go slowly so that we can actually wait for our body to send us a signal, whether it's a pain or discomfort signal. If we move too fast, we miss the signal, right? Our bodies are talking to us all the time, and we are not always listening, that is for sure. Get comfortable, play around, thumb up, thumb down, front of the shoulder, inside, closer to the pec. I think that's tight on everybody, that inside part of the shoulder. So what we're trying to do here is we're encouraging blood flow. We're encouraging any stuck chemicals like lactic acids, that's the one we mostly know about, that gives us kind of sore muscles. We want to encourage that to get released out of the muscle if it's trapped for whatever reason. And all this fresh oxygenated blood sweeping the arm, thumb up, thumb down, is going to help us recover and repair tissue if we've done a workout, right? And we've torn the muscle tissue, which is what we do when we lift weights and, and anything that stresses that muscle. So this healthy connective tissue is going to drive having a hydrated connective tissue is just going to help bring hydration to the whole area, right? So we can increase our recovery time and we can decrease any risk of injury. Okay, so come on up, hold on to this one ball. Let's do the top of the shoulder and the back. You guys know I love this one. We call trap the trap. We're going to trap the upper trapezius. So we're going to first focus on the right one. I'm going to put my ball in my left hand just because it's the easiest way for me to do it. I'm going to lay down, knees bent, hips down. I'm going to roll to my left hip, expose underneath my shoulder, and I'm going to trap that ball under here. I don't want it trapped so far that you can't poke the little top of the ball, right? You don't want it to be too far underneath your shoulder. You're never going to be able to do this. We want to trap the tissue between the top of the shoulder and the neck. And I want you to push with your feet and wiggle the ball around until you find that meaty part. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to lift our hips up into bridge, and we're going to lower. So my ball is on my right side. Nice big inhale, exhales. and then I'm going to keep my hips down. Now with my palm facing the wall in front of me, I'm going to bring my arm up overhead. And I'm going to bring my arm down. I'm going to wiggle around and bring the ball a little bit closer towards my spinal column. I don't want it on my spinal column. I want it on soft tissue, not on bones and not on joints and not on nerve bundles, right? Never on the inside of the elbow, never on the back of the knee. Now I've got a spot here that I feel, so I'm going to bring my elbow to the mat, and then I'm going to bring my hand over towards the opposite shoulder. And then I'm going to do a funky, wavy arm. I just want to move this tissue into positions that it's not used to and see if we can just get whatever's in there that's causing it to be painful or sticky or tight and get that out of there. Then, if you're feeling really good about all of this, keep your chin in line with your chest. Lift up your hips and bring your arm overhead at the same time. You might find a limited range of motion, that's okay. Lift and lower. Do a couple more. And then we're going to go right to the other side. I could spend all day here. I literally could spend all day here, but we're not going to. Okay, ball's in my right hand. I'm going to roll to my right hip. I'm going to trap this ball. So I'm using the medium yoga tune-up ball. I have the smaller ones, and then I have the medium one, and then I have the big one. All right, and I'm going to wiggle around until I feel like it's in the right position. I'm going to start lifting and lowering my hips. I'm not feeling a whole lot there. Okay, arm overhead, I'm going to reposition my hips and reposition this ball a little bit closer towards my neck. And then I'm going to play around, and I'm searching, and I'm breathing. And we just want to think about this tissue. Just we're Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz with the tin can, right? On the oil can with the Tin Man. We're getting in there and lubing it up. We want this connected tissue to be able to be open lines of communication with our spinal column and our brain for optimal flexibility and range of motion. Okay, set your ball off to the side. And let's do a little bit of mobility work with our shoulders. So let's come to all fours. Knees are underneath the hips, hands are underneath the shoulders, curl your toes under, because I love any opportunity to stretch through the bottoms of the feet. Right hand, right ear. Inhale, open, twist. When you open twist, I want you to tack your right knee down. That's going to keep your right hip in place. Try and keep your chin in line with your shoulder. When you can't go up any higher, I want you to flare your elbow down and back. And then close it off, elbow to the wrist. Inhale, open, little pause at the top. You're just repositioning your shoulder blade by drawing your elbow down and back. And then close it off. Let's do one more. Inhale, tack the right knee down, and then close it off. And then right hand down, left hand, left ear. Make sure the hand is underneath the shoulder, the knees are underneath the hips. Inhale, open, tack the left knee down so that the left hip doesn't open. Go further, I have like barely any range of motion over here. And then close it off, so a couple more. So I had frozen shoulder about 3 years ago, and I feel like I'm through it until I do things like that, and I notice that my range of motion isn't completely restored after that. But that's okay. All right. And then slowly release. And come to a seated position. And let's do some dynamic stretching now that our shoulders are all ready. So let's come to child's pose. You guys know that I love this. The palms are down. Your knees can be wide or your knees can be in line with your hips. It doesn't really make a difference. The elbows are underneath the shoulders. I want you to spread your hands wide, your forearms are like number 11. Drop your hip down, your chest down, and squeeze your shoulder blades together. And I want you to do the exact opposite of that. Push through your palms, push through your elbows. Bring your chin to your chest, round your shoulders forward. Perfect. Your inhale is here. Take your elbows, drag them towards your knees. Keep a rounded spine, chin to the chest, and shift your hips back towards your heels. And then come up to your starting position. Drag your elbows down, round your spine, shift back. One more. Drag the elbows down, round your spine, chin to the chest, go all the way back. Come back up to your starting position. Forearms to the right. Left elbow is on the mat. Push the elbows down, especially the left one. Round your upper back and shift back. Left hip towards the left heel. Keep going. No, Yoda, you can't go out. I've got gardeners out there. All right, too noisy. All right, let's go to the other side. Dynamic stretching. Push, what we want to do is we want to engage the muscles. So push your right elbow down, drag it towards your right knee. Round your spine forward, think cat pose, go, go, go. Pull back, pull back, pull back, and come to your starting position. And we want it flossing, right? We're flossing. Think about flossing your teeth. You're going in and out, and in and out. Good. Okay, sit down on a block, or two, or a bolster, and you're going to extend your right leg out, and your left knee is going to be bent. You're probably going to bend your right knee just to get into this position. So you're going to bring your right elbow inside your right knee. You take your left hand, and you're going to bring it on top of your right wrist. And we want to engage the back of the shoulders. How are we going to do this? We're going to plug the wrist to the right and pull our hand to the left. I automatically feel right back here, I feel it light up. Here's your engagement. Now you're just going to bring your wrist down, bring your hand down, keep the knee in, keep pressing the elbow out to the knee, and then come up. So we're flossing. We let it go at the bottom, we start the whole thing back up at the top. Elbow out, knee in. Plug the wrist out and pull down with your hand. It's called resistance stretching. So first we engage the muscle, and then we lengthen it while it's engaged. We've moved from the superficial fascia to the structural fascia. Okay, left leg is out. Right knee can be wherever you want it to be. Left elbow inside. I have my left knee bent, just because I don't feel like hunching over so much. Right hand, left wrist. I'm going to plug the wrist back. I'm going to come down, and I'm going to engage and elongate, and engage and elongate. Nice big breaths. All right. Move. I'm gonna rearrange my block so that I'm sitting on it long ways. We do our last thing on our shoulders, and I'm sitting down with my hips down on the block. My feet are pointing straight back. So we're gonna do an eagle wrap. So you're gonna bring your right arm underneath your left. You're either going to bring the back of your hands together, or you're going to grab your shoulders. Looks like everybody's got their palms connected. That's great. Okay, Sharon, if you can point your fingers up to the sky more and not have your wrist bent. Perfect. Okay, so what we're going to do is we need to figure out how to engage the back of the shoulder here. We're going to pull up with the bottom arm. We're going to pull down with the top arm. We're going to lift and extend our spine. And then we're going to round, tuck, and curl, and I'm going to lift my elbows as I bring my elbows down towards my belly. And then I'm going to come back to our starting position. I'm going to lift and extend, and I engage my core, and then I'm doing a push-pull, and I'm engaging with my upper arm bones. And then I'm going to come up. We're going to do it one more time. Engage the upper arm bones, and then round, tuck, and curl. So notice your right arm is underneath, and then just rest and just sit here with your palms facing up. Let's take a few breaths. So the resistance stretching is a lot of work. You guys are actually getting strength training in. Okay, bring your left arm under, cross wrap twist. See if you can get your thumbs right in line. Good. Fingers facing up. Really good what I see. Okay, so we're gonna plug the upper arm bones together. We're gonna lift the elbows without sticking our ribs out. And then we're gonna round, tuck, and curl. I'm pulling my ribs to the back of the room, my chin to my chest, and I'm rounding forward. And then I'm gonna come up, I'm gonna plug the arm bones together, I'm wrapping my shoulders forward, I'm over exaggerating this C curve in my spine. Up, plug, round, forward, good, and then rest. I want you to rest with your palms face up, close your eyes. All right, that felt pretty good.